We are here. Good morning, everybody. It's been a while, November of 2019 to talk about it, and here we are now. It's a proud day for everyone, proud day for the neighborhood. And I'm especially proud because my mom is here, so that's what I'm proud of. So we're going to kick the program off. Alderman Dow is ill. We talked last night, and then this morning I said, just send me what you want, and then we'll go from there. So from Alderman Dow, I stood on this important corner several years back with Commissioner Marissa Navarro when she worked for the Metropolitan Planning Council, discussing how the transit-oriented development concept would work here to revitalize 43rd Street, which was then a desolate commercial corridor. My office had the idea to close Calumet and create a park, and Hydea-Pendleton Park became a catalyst for development in the immediate area. Soon after, we began to see new investment. Old abandoned apartment buildings were rehabbed, new single-family homes and townhomes began to pop up. There was renewed interest in the historic Forum building, and we were able to encourage CTA to upgrade the 43rd Street station to support this development. We celebrate today. Providing affordable housing and retail options near the transit line is a critical strategy to keep Bronzeville an economically diverse and attractive neighborhood. I want especially to thank Habitat, Jeff Head and Charlton Hamer, P3, myself and my buddy Juan Saldana, for having the vision and love for Bronzeville to get this project done. I'm filled with pride whenever I drive or walk by the construction site. Thank you for your investment. Thanks to NOSA of Boa Construction and McHugh Construction for delivering an attractive building. A special thanks to Mayor Lightfoot and her Housing and Planning Department and all of the staff. I'm sorry, it just went away. All of the staff for making equitable transit-oriented development a top priority for our city, and then investing city dollars in its implementation. Thanks also to the Department of Transportation and their upcoming streetscape investment as part of the Mayor's Invest Southwest initiative. The concentrated focus of public and private resources is a shot in the arm for 43rd Street and the South Side and the Bronzeville community. I'm deeply grateful. And for that, thank you, Alderman Dow. And now I'd like to introduce our mayor, Lightfoot. And I'm proud to have you here. And I'm looking forward to you actually governing without COVID. But now we may have to deal with other things, and maybe even Godzilla coming out of the Lake Michigan. But thank you, Mayor Lightfoot.
Well, we're sorry, obviously, that Alderwoman Dow is under the weather and can't be with us tonight. But clearly, her strength, her vision, a former city planner herself, really shines through. And it's helpful to have a partner like Alderwoman Dow. Not only does she care deeply about the community, she understands the importance and the power of urban design to move things forward. So while she's not here with us physically, her vision is really all over this development. Today is an exciting day for Bronzeville, a community as we top off phase 1 of 43 Green, the latest mixed-use, transit-oriented development on the south side. And in addition to Alderman Dow, we are joined today by State Senator Maddie Hunter, who we must applaud for all of her relentless hard work on behalf of this community. Somewhere is Housing Commissioner Marissa Navarro. There she is. I also want to give a shout out to Planning Commissioner Maurice Cox, who's always present and particularly understanding the necessity of revitalizing the South and the West Side. So thank you, Commissioner Cox. I want to recognize HUD Director of Multifamily Midwest Region, Dan Burke, as well as representatives from co-developer, the Habitat community, and their senior vice president, Charlton Hamer, and representatives from co-owner P3 Markets and their principal, Phil Beckham. It's great always to be in Bronzeville. And some of you know I started my life in Chicago, nearby in Hyde Park. And 43rd Street was a frequent place that we would visit. Those of you remember Gladys's restaurant, right? Was here in the neighborhood. Jazz and blues clubs along this strip. And always thinking, what can we do? What can the city do to make this area more vital, more vibrant, and really allow it to live in its true life? I certainly never thought in 1986 that I'd be standing anywhere near this podium, but here I am, and I'm proud that our administration has been a part of helping bring this development to fruition. When it comes to investing in our neighborhoods, whether it be investments in housing or retail, we have to be present. I think you all know that, we all know that. We want our investments to be catalytic and encourage future developments in our communities. We want to serve the needs of local community members. We want to position residents so that they benefit from public transit. And we want new developments to be both affordable and easily accessible to residents from all walks of life. We have to break down not only the racial and ethnic segregation, but we have to break down the economic segregation that has been a stranglehold on our communities for way too long. And the other thing we must do is empower our black and brown developers. To me, one of the greatest virtues of Invest Southwest, of course, is infusing black and brown communities that have been disinvested in for far too long with real economic development, but also making sure that we are doing our part to build wealth among black and brown developers who've been left on the sidelines for far too long. And if we look at the developer teams who are integrated in communities they serve, engage local community members throughout their project, this is a prime example that this criteria that we have set unapologetically is being met in this project. This beautiful 10-story tower we celebrate today is just the first of 3 mixed-use, mixed-income buildings that will rise next to this CTA station in historic Bronzeville. Upon completion, this development has the power to change the local community by bringing new retail options. Approximately 300 new market rate and affordable apartments in this neighborhood. Phase 1 has 99 residential units, 51 of which will be affordable. That's a big deal, folks. To get to this day, the city allocated over $10 million in funding and contributed 4 city-owned lots to support this project. Importantly, this project is being co-led by developers who are part of the larger Bronzeville community. P3 Markets is minority-owned, based in Bronzeville, with a long history of community engagement. The Habitat company, is one of Chicago's leading residential developers and property managers. And let me also give a thanks to Dan Levin. Now, what a great, important guy to our city. And I have a special relationship with him because I clerked for his brother back in the day out of law school. But I have enormous respect for Dan and his team and what they've been doing literally for decades to open up corridors of opportunity in parts of our city and frankly lead the way for other developers to follow. So thank you to the entire Habitat crew. And among the development's many positive impacts, it is creating 26 jobs and approximately 125, that's 26 permanent jobs and approximately 125 temporary construction jobs. And the thing that excites me the most about 43 Green is the fact that we are bringing equitable transit-oriented development, or ETOD, to the south side. And I want to thank the other Black and brown developers who have embraced this concept and been advocates for making sure that the city opens up these opportunities. Some of you know just last week, the City Council approved a larger, bolder, deeper ETOD ordinance that I know is going to make an enormous difference all over our city, and particularly on the south and the west sides. You can clap for that. And 43 Greens developers, particularly Charlton Hamer and Phil Beckham, have been vocal supporters of the ordinance in its path to approval. So I want to thank you for that. And though this project was started under our city's previous TOD ordinance, the incentives of that ordinance are now extended more broadly and equitably across the city and will help foster future developments like 43 Green. ETOD brings numerous benefits to our neighborhoods. It ensures affordability among the housing options available near transit. It makes it easier for residents of that housing to access jobs, schools, and more while saving thousands of dollars in household transportation costs. It improves the health of communities by creating pedestrian-friendly, walkable streets. And it reaffirms our commitment to expanding transit accessibility throughout our city. With inflation continuing to rise and putting a strain on household budgets, particularly when it comes to filling up your gas tank, 43 Green and its ETOD benefits couldn't come at a better time for the residents of Bronzeville. And I look forward to continuing our work with partners and advocates like Habitat, P3 Markets, and more to make developments like 43 Green a reality. Finally, I'm also thrilled that this development is located on an Invest Southwest corridor, following other Invest Southwest announcements that we've made in Bronzeville, such as the new Northwestern Medicine Output Center, a $100 million investment in this community that not only is going to bring a lot of great jobs, not only is going to make sure that real health care is accessible to residents of this community and all over the South Side, but it shows a confidence in our vision to transform neighborhoods on the South and the West Side. You know this, they could have gone anywhere, but they chose to come here. And they chose to come here because they understood the business case that we have been making, that we are leaving developers, retailers, and others are leaving money on the table when they do not invest in Black and brown neighborhoods. People are getting that. The message is coming through. So I will end by saying this is a great day. Thank you to all involved. I know that this was a labor of love, a labor of hard sweat and tears, but being persistent and making sure that we do the right thing for the right reasons is always a great outcome. So with that, let me turn it to Phil. Come back up here.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to turn it over now to State Senator Maddie Hunter.
Good morning, everybody. It's a good day today in Bronzeville. I grew up in this community. I attended Beethoven Elementary School, myself and all of my siblings. For those of you all who have been in the neighborhood for a long time, we attended DuSable Upper Grade Center, remember that? And then we went on after we graduated and attended DuSable High School. We grew up in Robert Taylor homes. We moved in '62. And between that time and this time, we've seen a tremendous amount of transition that has occurred in this community. And some of it was good and others were bad, but today is a very good day. I left the check, the oversized check field at the office, but I got a lot of going on today. But I am responsible for $1.5 million that went into this project. And, Between now and the next several years, you'll see a number of projects that we are responsible for in the greater Bronzeville and Washington Park community, Wendy, and some other things that are going on. You will see popping up in new buildings and you know, these are your tax dollars that we're utilizing down in Springfield. And my job is to bring them back to the community. And so that's basically what I've been doing. I ditto everything that the mayor has stated. It doesn't make any sense to me to repeat what she just stated. But it was a pleasure working with you, Phil, and P3 and Habitat. And let's get some more projects going, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. And I'd like to bring up from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Dan Burke.
Thank you, Phil, and Mayor Lightfoot, Senator Hunter. HUD is proud to be a public partner with you in this project. I'm here on behalf of Regional Administrator Diane Shelley, who is on travel today and is very sad that she cannot be here and represent HUD. She has a passion for this project, and she is a daughter of Bronzeville, 4500 South Vincennes, and is very committed to the work we're doing at multifamily to advance projects of this nature which revitalize communities. And Secretary Fudge, for her, this project is hitting all the key priorities for HUD. I think it's near transit. It's as TOD as I think I've seen, and green as green can be. And it's a mixed income development that's revitalizing and a part of a community that's dynamic and Bronzeville is just stellar. And so we're thrilled to be providing the first mortgage financing, the insurance, presented by Enterprise Mortgage, Vic Augusta. No first mortgage goes all the way. Marissa knows that, Maurice knows that, and the city assistance and involvement in this project is elemental. Without it, first mortgage doesn't build this. It takes a village to build this. And so this public partnership is something we love, something we want to replicate. This is our mission, and we're meeting it here. I also want to congratulate the developers, P3 and Habitat, Charlton Hamer, Phil Beckham, and as the mayor noted, Dan Levin is somebody HUD has worked with, I think, for about 60 years, maybe more. And his vision infuses this project. I think he started South Commons about 55 years ago at the gateway to Bronzeville. And this is a fitting project in the palette of what he has been involved in, and I wish him all the best in his ongoing work. I also want to thank, most importantly for HUD, our senior underwriter, Elizabeth Gear. Elizabeth, R.A. Shelley and I get to speak at the events, but it's in the underwriting that the deal gets done, and she's terrific at what she does. I also want to commend the architectural team, Landon Bone Baker. They're always at the cutting edge of innovative design, and that shows here. So with that, I thank you for all of the support everyone has given this project.
If there was anyone I wanted to introduce, is this next guy. We've known each other and been great friends for about 25 years. He's been completely useless up until about 3 years ago. So again, I'd like to bring up my friend Charlton Hamer from the Habitat Company.
Tell you, Phil is something else. Something else. So I listen. I wanted to start by thanking everyone who played a role in the development of 43 Green, and there's so many people here who have involved. So many people, really, even just internally at the Habitat Company, who did a major lift and continue to do a major lift on this project. But I really want to name a few here. Some of them have been named before. The United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, the City of Chicago, Commissioners Navarra, Commissioner Cox, the State of Illinois, Alderman Dowell, unfortunately she can't be here. State Senator Maddie Hunter. Our private debt and equity partners, Bellwether Enterprise, Fifth Third Bank, and Stratford Capital. The general contractors, BOA Construction and McHugh Construction. The architect, Landon Bone Baker. And of course, our wonderful development partners, P3 Markets, my longtime friend, Phil and Juan. I know your mother left to go somewhere. I'm really glad to see that Phil's mother is here. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. I also feel safe that she's here so that she will keep Phil in check. So it is truly great to have the support and commitment from so many that have the same sense of commitment to enhance the quality of life in this community. We are also very proud that 43 Green represents one of the first equitable TODs in Bronzeville and is part of our mayor's Invest Southwest initiative that will provide needed resources to spur economic development, including new commercial and retail businesses. We know what this means for those who will call 43 Green home. Greater accessibility to transit, jobs, grocery stores, restaurants, schools, parks, etc. And equally important, uplifts the community and makes for a vibrant neighborhood. You can hear it around you. We are pleased and proud that this development provides another step for Chicago's Bronzeville community to garner additional housing and retail options. 43 Green will be a shining example of a mixed income, mixed use ETOD that is the future of this neighborhood and others across the country. The formula for this development works because it infuses neighborhoods with needed resources for long-term growth. As you see, this obviously is not the end of our work here. There will be more to come, so stay tuned. Thank you.
So my mom left, so I'm good to go now. I don't want to, say everything everybody else has said, but I'm truly proud to be on this team. My business partner Juan Saldana, I wouldn't want to be on this business journey without anybody else. My buddy Juan and his family, his mom and sister here. Of course, Habitat. We are rode on this with training wheels, and I think we got our training wheels lifted up a little bit so we can just still keep the helmet on and the elbow pads, but the training wheels a little bit higher off. And again, the community, the neighbors who are here today, who were here, 3 years ago, that listened to us. Ms. Stubbs, who's our neighbor just to the south of us. It was all about making sure the community was involved and knew what was going on, and even day to day. We have our great project managers from BOA, McHugh, Melissa, and Roy, who most of the community knows because they're accessible. This is definitely a community movement. The neighborhood has been completely involved, and my job is just to make sure that we keep that positive motion going forward. One thing that's dear to my heart is making sure I can bring people on the project that look like me, not necessarily, but just the color. Jacinta, we were able to bring her on as interior design. She's here. Where's my buddy Kelsey Taylor, Engaged Civil, my man. People from this area that get an opportunity to work on the project in the neighborhood, and we want to keep doing that. NOSA, My guy, if it wasn't for Nikki Hayes, I wouldn't have met Nosa. And it's just been a very nice, exciting time. I'm always humble. I'm proud because you're proud, and that makes it all whole. So I will stop, and again, thank everyone for coming. And we still got work to do. We're going to be here a few more times doing the same thing. So thank you all. Appreciate it. You good?